Hi guys, Tiny Maths here. Here's a quick lesson on how to find the angles of an isosceles triangle if you are given the size of just one of the angles. So let's go to our first question. What is the angle A in this triangle? Notice the position of our 120-degree angle. This is an isosceles triangle indicated by the two red slashes going through two of the sides of the triangle. Our 120-degree angle is positioned in between those two red slashes, which indicates it is the odd angle out. What that means is that the other two angles, A and our unidentified angle, are the same value. So what we're saying is, as there are two angles that are the same, A equals the unidentified angle. They're both the same value. It's important to notice that, or to remember, that the angles within a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So what happens if we add up the angles of this triangle? Well, then we get that 120 degrees plus A plus our other angle equals 180 degrees, and that should be correct because all angles must add up to 180 degrees. But also we showed that this is an isosceles triangle and that two of the angles are the same. We saw that A is the same as the unidentified angle, so we could really replace the unidentified angle with the value A. Well, what would that look like? It would give us 120 degrees plus A equals 180 degrees. Look, now we have two A's. We can even simplify this equation further by saying that 120 degrees plus 2A equals 180 degrees. That is, 120 degrees and 2A together make up 180 degrees. How do we find out what 2A is? If we take away 120 degrees from 180 degrees, that will give us 2A. 180 degrees minus 120 degrees equals 2A. What's 180 minus 120? That gives us 60. That means that 2A equals 60. We're very close to the answer now. So 2A equals 60 means that A equals 30 because there are two A's of the value 30, and that's our answer. A equals 30. So there's our first answer. Let's try our next question. Can you guess the angle B? What's the angle B? Well, something we always need to remember is that all three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So we can actually write this down when we get a problem like this. We could write this particular triangle down as 22 plus B plus the unmarked angle equals 180 degrees. But look at this triangle. It's got two red strokes to two sides, which means it's an isosceles triangle, which means that two of the angles are going to be exactly the same in this triangle. Now, take a note of the position B. Where is it? Well, the angle B is between the two strokes, which means in this case, B is the odd one out. So, that means that the unmarked angle is exactly the same as 22 degrees. And we can rewrite that sum that we wrote earlier in this way. 22 plus B plus 22, which was the unmarked angle, equals 180 degrees. What does that mean? We have two lots of 22, so 44 plus B equals 180. We can rearrange this because 44 and B together are 180. If we take 44 away from 180, we get B. So 180 minus 44 equals 136. B equals 136. There is our answer. So that's how you find the angles of an isosceles triangle. You should have noticed there are two possible scenarios. Firstly, where the given angle is between the sides of equal length. in other words, between the two slashes. And secondly, where the given angle lies between sides of different lengths, in other words, not between the two slashes. If the given angle lies between the slashes, then simply subtract its value from 180 degrees and divide the result by 2, and that is the value of each of the other two angles. Alternatively, if the given angle is outside of the two slashes, then the value of the other angle outside of the two slashes is the same size as the given angle. So, if you double the given value and subtract the result from 180 degrees, that will give you the value of the angle that is between the two slashes, the angle that's the odd one out. If you remember these rules, you shouldn't have difficulty finding the angles of an isosceles triangle given the value of just one of the angles. Also, if you found these angles a bit too easy, here's a link to my next video with a harder example, where none of the internal angles are given, just one external angle. Check out that video for an example that's a little bit more challenging. Well, that's it for now. Take care. Until the next video.